And we get in front of the camera for yet another week. Hey everybody, getting better, more refined. We even put a little thing at the beginning just because, why not? Got our script, got our volume on. Hopefully this will be a one take, one and done. Share Gorath will guide me through madness. But yeah, welcome to yet another episode, whatever you want to call it, of the weekly recap. Got a good amount to cover, but first things first, I want to do a little shout out to 3 groups that I am in on Facebook, and part of it's to hopefully grow, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to grow this. I've talked about doing that giveaway whenever the day comes that I can hit that 100 subscriber mark, but 3 groups that I am in, one of them doesn't even really have a proper icon, but shout out to the Minnesota Toy Posse. Tough times. Haven't been able to do a toy swap in weeks and weeks, and who knows when the next one will be, but one day we will all get together again. Thank you guys. Likes of Mark, likes of Dave, all you guys for everything that you do, and the group, it just always feels so warm and cozy. Shout out to, where are they at? What do we call them? The Twin Cities Geeks. Just another local nerdy group here in the Twin Cities. Again, they bring a lot of joy and entertainment, so I've seen them at lots of cons. Everybody that runs that, kudos. And finally, they don't have an image properly, but whatever. Minnesota Funko, Pop Collectors, whatever. I had their full name. Shout out to them as well. I'm trying to keep this short and simple, but those guys, yeah. So one thing I did mention, we're aiming for that 100 subscriber mark. It's not a big goal, it's a little goal, and whenever we get there, there's a giveaway. It's a free giveaway. Come on, it's a pop about yay big. I'm not telling you what it is yet, because I don't do spoilers, but whenever that day comes, hopefully in the future, don't know, yeah, even if you don't live close, I'll ship it to you. I don't care. All you gotta do is hit that button. There's probably a graphic somewhere, but I don't know. I can't remember where I put it. But let's get on to the news. That's why we're here. I'm trying to entertain you. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. I have a lot of Mandalorian to talk about. 3 articles, but that's a lot, considering it's like a third of what I'm talking about this week. But first things first, Katie Sackhoff, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly, has been cast in The Mandalorian Season 2. I know I talked last week about, we'll get to that, a casting, but she is going to be in there playing Bo-Katan. Now, Bo-Katan is from the Clone Wars, this series. I will admit I have not watched it at all. It's on Disney+. I hear they just had their last season, I think. So I need to find time and watch it. Lots of stuff going on, a lot of shows to watch. Rick and Morty's back, so lots of shows. But yeah, she has been cast, and I hope, I didn't 100% verify this, but I really hope I'm right. She was in Riddick. I'm like crossing my fingers I'm actually correct about that. She's in Battlestar Galactica. That's like one of her huge things to be known for. But she was in Riddick with like the likes of Vin Diesel, Dave Bautista, and I really enjoyed that movie. Pitch Black was good. Chronicles of Riddick was and then Riddick was really good. So, but she is going to be playing, apparently, and again, haven't watched Clone Wars, so I'm sorry. You can yell at me later for that one. There'll be more stuff about that real soon. But yeah, she's going to be in Season 2. So that's cool. In other Mandalorian news, apparently Captain Rex, again, another big Clone War character I don't know much about, is being rumored to have been cast. And I can't remember his first name because I only wrote his last name, but the guy I talked about last week, Tiana Morrison, I know his last name's Morrison, who has been officially cast to play Boba Fett in The Mandalorian, is apparently also going to play Captain Rex. And again, that's a Clone Wars thing. I don't know a lot about Clone Wars, but based on the very little bit of research I did, if you're going to have Bo-Katan, apparently Captain Rex has a lot to do with her storyline. So, and it's going to be the same guy who played Jango Fett, and then now he's playing Boba Fett, and also Captain Rex apparently. So that's like a triple threat. it's just, they just keep stacking more stuff. There's a Disney Plus thing on right now. I only watched a little bit of the first episode. It's like a 4-part documentary breaking down like the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian. So check that out too. Finally, in our last bit of Mandalorian news, and in more news of names that I can't pronounce no matter how many times I hear them, Timothy Oliphant, something like that. Y'all correct me, however I'm wrong. Him, she was in what, Live Free and Die Hard. He was in the Hitman movie as Agent 47. The remake of The Crazies, which was really good. Other movies that I can't think of. Oh, he was in that one with Vin Diesel. Where Vin Diesel is a cop. It was a very small role, but still. The Good Man? I don't know. Can't think of the name of it. That's a different story. But he has been cast also in The Mandalorian. The only thing with him is we currently don't know as what or who. So, but he's a pretty good actor. He's on that FX series Justified, another show I have not watched but heard good things about. So, yeah. That's all I got for Mandalorian news. Just 3 castings that have been announced very recently. Let's go to some video game stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Tony Hawk. There's a series that kind of disappeared a while ago. But Tony Hawk is coming back. Sort of. Kind of. It's not new. It's old. In this world where we're just constantly remaking, remastering, like Resident Evil 2, 3, other games, Tony Hawk 1 and 2 are going to be remastered, and they're going to be coming out sometime, I think, this fall-ish. So there's even a collector's edition that I don't know the price, but it's going to come with a skate deck. So that's kind of cool. Most of these songs from the original are going to be back in it. Graphics are getting a huge overhaul. One thing I did read that's kind of fascinating is, besides like all the visual overhauls, they're going to include aged skaters. So like Tony Hawk now. Maybe there'll be young Tony Hawk, but also older Tony Hawk. So I just thought that was neat. Tony Hawk kind of fell to the side after like, I think Project 8 might have been the last okay one. But then they did that one with that peripheral that just, I think Tony Hawk Ride, wasn't that good. They did a Wii one called Downhill Jam or something. That one wasn't good. Yeah, so this hopefully is going back to the original, the good stuff. They re-released them on PS3. Yeah, I have one of I think I have Tony Hawk on PS3 now. But then this is going to be 1 and 2 remade, remastered, looking pretty, getting that big old facelift. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, got nothing else there. Notice that I'm actually using this and less of this. Hey, maybe I'm like getting better. I don't know. Probably not, but I'm still having fun. That's what matters. I want to talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed. So, I just want to mention this. I don't really think I'm going to get the new Assassin's Creed. I really haven't played any of them for a while. The Viking concept sounds cool, but I talked a while ago, and then I talked a long time ago when I was drunk about how Far Cry should have gone to the Viking era after Primal, but whatever. Assassin's Creed is doing it. Ubisoft is doing it. One thing they did announce recently, that part of their DLC for a game that's not even out yet is going to include a Beowulf mission of some sort. So, Beowulf is a big, is it North? There's an R and an S in there. Mythology. So that's kind of cool. If they're really trying to take that level of like following timelines, like Odyssey, I think had a lot of Egyptian like things, themed stuff. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I still don't know if I'm gonna get it. I know my buddy Ryan. He'll get it. He's a big Assassin's Creed fan. Pretty sure he's got the little symbol tattooed on him somewhere. But it's a game maybe at some point. I don't know. I've fallen out with Assassin's Creed. Black Flag was the last one I really enjoyed, and I only enjoyed it for the pirates. And eventually, if it's ever coming out, Ubisoft is making a pirate-y boat game that they announced like a year and a half ago, maybe longer. That's what I want. But Assassin's Creed, Beowulf. So don't know what to do about that. Oh, one other thing. They did talk about, there was an article saying that they want to bring back the insta-kill hidden blade, so that's kind of cool. I think one of my favorites was in Assassin's Creed 2. I had one where like, running, then I jumped, landed by a dude, and apparently hit a button and went blade, and step, and then ran off. I'm like, that was cool. So, Yeah. uh, so, speaking of games that I have not played, nor am I sure if I'm going to play them, Predator came out not too long ago. It's on PS4. I think it's coming out, if not out already, for Xbox One, PC. But it's going to have some DLC coming out really soon. And apparently Dutch is coming back. Dutch, that would be our protagonist, one of the lone survivors, if you don't count that the girl that they bring with from the original Predator. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is even reprising, not only visually, so this looks like older Arnie, but also he's recording some dialogue, some for the game, I assume, like for gameplay, where you can actually play as Dutch, and then others, they're talking about there's going to be like audio logs that kind of tell the story between this movie that came out, I think, in the 80s, when I was a wee little lad, and then now, who knows how, I can't remember, I don't know when Predator game takes place, but he definitely looks more like Arnold Schwarzenegger of now, so there's a big gap of time. They came out with that other Predator movie recently, and it wasn't good. I was hoping it was going to be good too, but it wasn't. Yeah, it was bad for so many reasons. But that's something we're not talking about right now. So, bear with me. Got two more things to talk about. So, this picture does not give any justice to what I'm going to talk about. You're going to have to look it up, watch it for yourself. But Epic and Unreal Engine and all of them together with Sony have made a little tech demo showing off just how powerful the PS5 is. And it's quite impressive. Again, like this one, kind of blurry. I don't even know how, yeah, blowing it up the shot really does make sense. It's not even like, just go watch it. Go look it up. Go look at PS5 Epic. You'll see. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's all. It's just, they're showing off what the new Unreal Engine and the PS5 can do. I know there was an article, again, articles, they're everywhere. One of the people behind Microsoft, they weren't saying if this would be doable on Xbox, on whatever the new cube thing, brick, whatever is, 2 game cubes on top of each other. But when they don't want to say that it isn't possible, but they're not saying that it is, it's kind of weird. It's just, it's always like I can't even, did you eat my donut? Well, what I didn't do was this. And it's like, no, I asked you if you did this and you didn't say no. But that's, whatever. I'm drifting away. We're not drifting right now. Go check it out. Look it up on YouTube. Look it up anywhere. It's beautiful. There's even some journalists that are like, kind of like, it's pretty much putting a lot of modern day PCs in their place. And it's like, the PC Master Race is always on top of like, oh my God, we're amazing. Look at our graphics. Well, PS5 is apparently catching up. But to me, as always, it's always about story. It's always about gameplay. You can have the shittiest graphics in the world, but I want a good story. Like The Last of Us has great graphics, but it's got a great story. I love it. That's one of my favorite games. Maybe I'll do a video of my proper, I have 3, yeah, man, we're going to do that. Stay tuned. Eventually there's going to be my top 3 games, because I know what they are, and I like to talk about that. Different day, different thing. But I want to talk about one more thing. I talked about it, I think, in 2 prior episodes. It's coming back around. Not for the reasons you would expect, but apparently, and I wrote down his name, because I want to throw that his way. R.E. Behind the Mask is apparently his code name. He is working on a patch, whatever you want to call it, but he's taken the original Dino Crisis and has managed to run it through some of his magic voodoo, and it's playing in 4K, 60 frames a second. This is not a remake, this is not a remastering, but it's just showing some love for Dino Crisis. I talked about how I would love a proper remaster of that, just like we got for RE2. This is done, I don't need this anymore. And how they did for Resident Evil 3. My only hope is that this sparks some interest, just like when the fan-made reboot, remake, redesign, whatever you want to call it, of Resident Evil 2 happened, and that was something I talked with the guys back on the old days of the Extreme Hardcore Nerds about how like it was a fan project, and then Capcom was like, no, you can't. That's our property, but we can. So I'm kind of hoping it's like, do it. There was one last thing I'll mention here. There's an article October of last year, I think, in the fall, giving some hope, saying Capcom is like renewing the licenses for a lot of their IPs, meaning they want to keep that intellectual property IP, and like Dino Crisis, that's one of them. I had one of you guys, one of my people who viewed, ask me about Lost Planet. Matt, that's a shout out to you right there. And I talked a little bit about it, but I don't know if that's an IP that they were going to refresh, but that would be cool. It'd be cool to see some of these games that have kind of been forgotten, but they still exist. And yeah, that's it. So I just hope it gives any hope that maybe one day we'll be able to wash the taste of Dino Crisis 3 away, and then get a proper remade Dino Crisis. And then maybe, I don't know if we need the second one. The second one wasn't that good, but, at least the first one. That's what I would like. So, that's all I got for you, I think. Oh, yeah, well, I mentioned that already. Mystery box, but yay. It's, I don't know, it's not your average, but just hit that button. That's all I ask, when we get to that number, somebody will get something for free. All you gotta do is click a button and then ignore me until I come back, right? So, to the 3 groups that I gave my shout outs to, the Minnesota Toy Posse, the Minnesota Funko Collection group, and the Twin Cities Geeks, if y'all want to take this video down, if I link it on your channel, go ahead. Moderators, no offense, it's what it is. But, yeah, just trying to grow, that's all. I hope I can entertain you a little bit. And I'm still having fun doing this, so you know what? In the end, that's what matters. And if only 3-4 people watch this, well, hell. As long as I'm entertaining those 3 or 4. That's me. You got any questions, comments? You can hit me up on Twitter. You can comment on this video. You can text me if you know my number. You could throw a rock at me if it has a question written on it. I prefer you write something on it if you're gonna throw it. It's be rude just to throw a rock. At least write something on it and then throw it. So that's all. But yeah, I got nothing else for you this week. Yeah, that's all I got. But yeah, I think I am going to put together. I never put together that timeline video, and I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I think I could put together my favorite game video pretty easily. I think I could. So keep an eye out for that. But until next time, yeah, be safe and be kind. I'll see you next time.